All right, I'm going to talk you through one of these. Actually, maybe we'll do two and see how we can use our ideas of factoring for one of them and use our GDC thoroughly for the other. So for each of these polynomials, I'm going to do these 5 steps. So let's start with polynomial 1, our f of x. So describe the shape of the graph using the lead coefficient test. So my lead coefficient is less than 0, and my power is odd. So that tells me that it's going to have this shape. Maximum number of zeros will be 3, because my x-axis could be here. My maximum number of extrema are 2. 1, 2. All right, rather than graphing this first, I'm going to come down here and find the zeros of the polynomial, and I'm going to do that because I can see that this is going to factor by grouping. So I'm going to take my f of x, and from this first set, I'm going to factor out negative x squared and get x minus 1. And then from this set, I'm going to factor out a 3 and also get x minus 1. So that tells me this is going to be negative x squared plus 3, and then x minus 1. Well, negative x squared plus 3, that's the same as 3 minus x squared, and x minus 1. So this is a difference. I could think of this as a difference of squares. It's going to factor as root 3 minus x and root 3 plus x and x minus 1. So this tells me that my roots are going to be plus or minus root 3. I also could have found that by setting this equal to 0 or 1. So thinking back here, I am going to have 3 zeros. I know my shape is going to be something like this. So I can think now about where my axis is going to be. This will be 1. This will be root 3. I'll have my negative root 3 over here. And then looking here, I can see my y-intercept is going to be negative 3 here. Now I just need to find my extrema. So now I'm going to go to my calculator and we'll look at this graph. And I bet that my spacing here is a little bit shifted. So let's see what it actually looks like. Okay, so I'm going to go into my y equals, clear out everything that I have. All right. So my equation was negative x cubed plus x squared plus 3x minus 3. And I'm going to start just with a standard window. So that's number 6. So that's going to go negative 10 to 10, negative 10 to 10. And that's looking pretty good. So my graph was shifted a little bit from how I sketched it. I knew that this part needed to come down further. So let's go ahead and find our extrema. So I'm going to go to calc, and then I'll start by finding my minimum. So a number for sure on the left side is negative 2. A number for sure on the right side is negative 1. What am I doing? I'm finding my minimum. A number for sure on the right side of my minimum is 0. Let me go back and correct that. All right, and now my guess is that it's around negative 1. Okay, and there's my minimum at negative 0.721 if I go to 3 significant figures. So negative 0.721, and the minimum value is negative 4.27. And now for my maximum, that's going to occur between 1 and root 3. So again, back to the calc menu, and now I'm going to find the maximum. I know on the left side is 1. I know the right side is square root of 3. So somewhere in the middle of that, I'm going to guess maybe 1.2. Minimum. Didn't want to find my minimum. I wanted to calculate my maximum. So left bound is 1, right bound is about 1.7. So halfway between that is going to be about 1.3. And there we go, 1.39 and 0.417. So max 1.39, 0.417. So that's looking at this example. I'm going to come back in another video to do example 3. And I'm going to leave you to do example 2 on your own.